Hey, hi, howdy, how are you folks? My name is Nallex and welcome back to another League of Legends video. We are back in the jungle on our favorite champion right now, Shyvana. I took a bit of a brief hiatus here from playing some Shyvana thanks to, I had a friend come over and stay with me for a couple days. So at this point, it's been about 3 or 4 days since I've actually played a game of Shyvana. And so you'll notice in the early game, my mechanics are a little slow to get started, but don't worry, once we get into the deeper parts of the game, it all comes back like riding a bike. This game, I think, is a really good showcase of how even if you have a bad early game start, you play smart, you play with your team, you can win. You don't always have to be the carry in the game, you just gotta be carryable. And well, I definitely was not the carry in the early game, but towards the late game, once we get some items on us, we actually become pretty strong here on the Shyvana. The clear this time, because we are on the blue side, is just going to be a standard full clear, starting on that red buff and then going straight into the top side. You know the drill. You've seen it before. You've seen it 100 times. You've probably seen it multiple times on my channel. I tell you what, the last Shyvana video I did, well, I guess not the last one because I've uploaded another one since then, but there was a Shyvana video I did recently where we got like 2.3 thousand views, or at least at this time, that's where we were. Shout out to everybody who watched that video. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll have even more good insight here. Trying to get more spectrum of Shyvana games, because it's never good to just show games where you win really cleanly and, you know, the enemy team loses to your other lanes and then you win the game through them anyway. This one's a really good opportunity where it's like, I didn't play great in the beginning, but I clutched up towards the end and we had some really good team fighting here too. So some good examples of what to do in those later game team fights, which, you know, the last video I did where we were up against that 24-0 Akali wasn't quite the best team fights towards the late game. So here's a better example of what they should look like. Clearing our camps, you've seen it before. We are clearing our blue buff last and going straight into the Scuttle Crab. And we're on good timing here to get done with our blue and go straight on top of it. Now we should be kiting our blue towards the top area so we can get to the Scuttle Crab quicker, but Garen kind of disappeared for a little bit, and I faced too many Dariuses to not be a little careful when situations like that arise. We watch our Victor get killed. Here we're looking for a bit of an opportunity on the Echo. We know he's super low HP, so we use our W to get speed, flash E, hit the E, but just barely gets away. That dirty guy. It's so unfortunate, but the good news is we got another smite coming up, and we get to the Scuttle Crab thanks to where that gank led us. You'll notice that I took that gank, and that's something that I don't normally do, but the reason I did it is pretty clear, right? All I did was clear all my camps, nothing was up, I had time to back. Why not just see if I can kill that Echo when he's that low? Sometimes you find good opportunities. Get our control ward, get our sweeper, you know the drill. Going straight towards those bot camps, starting on Krugs, Raptors, and then we're going straight to that dragon as soon as it spawns. We're going to be a little late because we tried to gank the Echo, but it's a worthy sacrifice, I would say. Want to make sure to hit them with as much of your E as you can, and use that W to clear the smaller ones. Really quick way to do that. I used my E there thinking that I walked a little too far for the smaller one to die, but we ended up being okay. Echo's being very aggressive. You'll see he's playing very, very aggressive this game, and it works out pretty well for him. But, you know, just like that Akali game, doesn't matter how fed you are, all we need is one good opportunity, and the game is ours. So the dragon spawns. We're there about 10 seconds later. Not a huge delay, and we do have control over that bot Scuttle Crab, so we know that no one's in the area. We're also going to put down our control ward to make sure that they don't know where I am and what I'm doing. We don't really need to worry about a fight because we know that we're basically good to go already. We even have our Morgana kind of hovering the area, which is always nice to see. We see Skarner take some pressure there, go towards mid, so we know we're perfectly safe to kill that dragon, and that's what we like to do. Echo is moving forward, and we're just going to catch this mid wave, not really trying to fight Echo too much. We're just trying to get these minions. Unfortunately, Echo doesn't agree with that plan, and so Echo is very much so trying to fight us. And as I walk towards this top side to go towards these grump, or whatever they're called, the grubs, that's what it is. Echo finds a crazy angle to still get on top of me. I don't know how he closed that distance. He might have flashed or something, but unlucky with that Echo just roaming around perfectly. He even goes straight to topside. Almost finds our Jace. Now, we've been seeing a lot of tank Jace action recently in the ranked games. It seems that Lorelo and all those creators that have been spreading the gospel of tank Jace have really been getting under people's skin, because I tell you what, I have not seen a normal Jace be played in a long time. Also want to give a bit of an apology. I was working on getting the activate windows thing at the bottom right of my screen off of the screen, and I swear to you it was gone, and I just now realized that it's back somehow, and I'm not exactly sure what happened there. So because we died, we know we don't have any control over these grubs. We're just going to clear our camps like we would have if we were able to get them. Get level 6, we've got our ult now, we can look to fight. See some low health people in the bot side jungle. We're going to use our W to start clearing a little faster towards them. Tell them to be careful. They find a kill on the Seraphine, which is always nice. We are on this red buff, but we're keeping an eye on our minimap, just seeing what's going on there. It looks like Echo is full committed to this fight, no matter what. At this point, we're full committed to getting this buff down. There we go. Look, we're in a good position here. As soon as this fight's over, Echo's right there. We're on top of him. Look at that. I don't get the kill, but I definitely make the play, and Echo gets a little too aggressive and dies. We'll take that. You know, enemies making a mistake is definitely always something we want to punish. And let's clear back towards that top side. While we were making that play bot, Skarner did finally get those grubs, which is fine. We knew that they weren't ours in the first place. We traded them for the dragon already, so we don't mind losing them too much. Echoes once again on top of our Victor. That Scuttle Crab is not available for us, so we'll just go ahead and clear the blue buff. Right on top of it as soon as it spawns. Garen gets a kill on our Jace. We don't quite have our ult yet, so that's why I'm a little hesitant to commit to this play. But if the Garen walks just a little too weirdly, we might be able to jump on top of him and get that kill. Fortunately, he does run straight over there, so we're going to have to try and flash again. This time, though, Garen cannot jump over walls like Echo. We do get that shutdown. Sometimes a flash E, a well-executed flash E, I should say, is pretty strong, especially because if you can get your Q off afterwards, that bonus damage from the E mark will do a ton of damage in the early game. Not enough to be like, wow, this champion's overpowered, but plenty of damage if there's already a low health enemy that you don't have to use your ult. You can just EQ, and they'll probably take a decent chunk. As soon as the camps are spawning, we are on top of them. You know the drill. Farming really well this game, despite you know, not playing perfectly. For some reason, I tab out. I think I'm putting on music here. Shout out Metal for recording all these gameplays. It makes my life a lot easier as a content creator, quote unquote. I mean, how much of a content creator can you really call me? But it's just nice to be able to have it basically record the entire match. And then if it is a good match, I can go back and watch the replay, provided I don't tab out in the middle of the game like that. So Dragon is spawning here very, very soon. We're also looking to get these Krugs when they respawn. We've got our control ward still in the Dragon Pit. We've got decent control over the vision of the jungle area in general. We're going to get the Scuttle Crab to get even more of that control of the vision. Preparing ourselves for a fight. Unfortunately, this Echo is very, very strong. We stand here, use our sweeper to make sure that we are not on vision. And we miss our E, which is a little awkward, but not too big of a deal. We spot the Skarner with the bot lane. We're going to try and make a play with them using our W to get there. Now here, I probably should just walk up, but I wanted to clear this ward. And I think it does end up being the end of me here. A little too focused on killing these wards and not focused enough on actually making the play. I don't think I can save them there. Get hit by the Seraphine E. Get hit by the Skarner ult. I think I get away. Skarner goes through a wall, pins me to it. I get rooted by the by the Caitlyn, and that's 5.5 seconds of CC directly on my dome. Now, that's 100% my fault. Probably should have been better positioned and actually more prepared for the fight, but what you get sometimes, you know? It's my first game back on after a hiatus. I guess I thought that I would dodge the Seraphine route, or maybe I thought I would win anyway. Not sure what I was thinking, but... Now here, I'm telling my team to back up. I don't think this is a good idea for them. Somehow, they make it a good idea. The enemy team, this is low elo, guys, don't forget. Any play that you think isn't gonna work will probably just end up working. Like, if you think your team's making a stupid play, somehow it'll work. If you think you're making a smart play, somehow it won't work at all. So, my team gets 3, make it 4 kills off of that dragon. Shout out to them. I have genuinely no idea how they won a 4v3 against a very fed Echo. It makes no sense. I think right here, if you could see at the bottom top left, I am in a call with some of my friends chatting. I'm saying, like, I guess I'll never doubt them again. What a fool I was to doubt them. Now here, I skip sequencing my camps because I noticed that the grubs are up. I wasn't fully paying attention to my mini-map at first, but as soon as I realized those grubs are up, I skipped that camp because these grubs are definitely worth more than that. Now, our positioning a little strange here, knowing that there's 3 of them here and only 1 of us. We were trying to not get hit by that Skarner, but the range on his stun is just insane. And of course, 600 true damage from Garen is no joke either. Another bad fight. This is what I'm saying. You know, I'm just not quite positioning the way I would have liked to. Luckily, it looks like Jace might get away. The charm from the Seraphine gonna make that pretty hard for him. So yeah, we went to our camps instead of straight to the grubs because we weren't paying enough attention to our mini-map. That gets us caught out because we're delayed to the grubs by about 20 seconds. And that gets us killed. And now we're in a spot where not only are our camps not sequenced correctly because we did the Krugs first, we're also 1-3 in the game. And we're not feeling too hot about it. We got a Garen that's 4-1, a mid laner that's 6-2. Our team did make one good fight happen without us, so there's definitely still hope in the world. But it's not going to come from me here at this point. The only way for me to get myself back in this game is going to be to do what I do best, and that is power farm the shit out of this jungle, right? I can farm much, much better than this Skarner can, and that will allow me to scale and be stronger than him in the next big fight that we take. Now, what I should do is avoid basically as many fights as humanly possible for as long as possible so I can get as strong as I can. I believe I accidentally, yeah, I do hit the blue buff here, but it won't delay me by too much. I talk a lot about sequencing on the channel, you know, how I want you to, you know, skip the blue buff, do the Gromp first, do the blue buff last. But once you get to a certain point in the game and you kill these camps super quickly, it's not going to matter too much anyway. You know, it's only going to be maybe a 3-second delay at most, which isn't enough to really make you feel bad. But look, I'm already 40 CS up on this Skarner, and I have the same amount of items of him. So me and him are pretty equally matched right now. It's the top laner and mid laner that are the problems. So I'm not looking to fight them, but I can definitely fight Skarner if and when he gives me the opportunity. The only reason I'm this strong is not because, you know, I am, you know, getting a bunch of free kills and free ganks and things like that. It's because I'm power farming, right? It's just the way you play Shyvana. Now here I'm looking at their bot lane. I see a very low health Caitlyn. I'm looking to get that kill. I'm even willing to go pretty deep for it. Unfortunately, Caitlyn does walk a little too far before I make this play, so I end up just kind of hanging out a little bit. But you know what? I'm pushing their bot lane really far off this tower. We're getting lots of damage on it. The great way to secure first tower is to just push a lane so far back that multiple waves land on this tower, and you'll see that gets us the first tower. Even with only one grub, we still get that first tower. And against the Garen that's 4-1. Now most of that's because of my bot lane, but we'll take some credit as well, just from pushing them out there. Now here Skarner is just a little too deep. There's not much he can do once he gets stunned by the Morgana. It's another great opportunity where we can steal some camps. Sure, we've got our bot side camps spawning, but why wouldn't we take his bot side camps when they're completely free first, right? It's an out to in type thing. I believe I heard this on a different jungler player's video, but basically the idea is if it's free, you want to go out to in, right? There's no risk to it. You can take their camps first, clear towards yourself and your camps, and then you get their whole bot side. And by the time you're done, you're in the clear. Now, 3 people show up to attack me, so I'm going to go over this wall, obviously, using my ult. But I'm not going to give up the space entirely. Or at least I thought so. Yeah, there we go. We're already in our dragon form. We might as well clear our bot side. The dragon's spawning too, so we don't have enough time to back and come back. Might as well just clear some bot side camps and then just go for the dragon. It's a common misconception with low elo players that if you push somebody off an objective once, they're not going to come right back to it. You'll notice, right? They push me off. I use my ult over the wall, and they're like, okay, cool. Dragon's clear. We're all good. No, I'm still right on top of that dragon. Why would I not just come straight back? Because I know they don't have the pressure to take it. So I just go ahead and snag it real quick. Now, just like those grubs in the early game, if they take this Rift Herald, I'm not too worried about it. It is a fine trade to do. Hitting the wave here, trying to get some levels on towards my ult. But also, of course, trying to play a little careful. Flashing, assuming that Garen was going to go all in on me. He is very strong. I wouldn't be surprised if he did it. But look, once again, I'm just trying to stack up my ult here, right? I'm not trying to kill this camp. I'm not trying to jump on anybody. Without my ult, it's definitely not worth. Keep poking with ease. Keep seeing where that opportunity will present itself. And all of a sudden, you see us here. Now, here I do make one crucial mistake. I used my smite out of just instinct of trying to do everything I can. I tried to go over that wall, but apparently that wall is too big. I used my smite on, I believe, Skarner here. Oh, I think I used it on Garen to try and secure that kill. But unfortunately, you'll notice we get to it just barely in time. Don't quite get that auto. So we lose the feats of strength by literally a fraction of a second, but we get a bunch of kills for ourselves as well. We can't quite get to that Echo. No point in chasing. We're low HP. He's super strong. If we chase, he'll just burst us down once his cooldowns are up. But we'll take what we can. We got a couple kills. We almost got the objective. And we didn't die. That's the big thing, right? Us not being dead means that we get a huge farm advantage on this Skarner because our camps are up and we're not dead. His camps are up and he just died. He has to wait to respawn and then get to his camps while I've already been clearing mine. Even though we have the same amount of camps to clear, if that makes any sense. 3,400 gold in my pocket. It's definitely about time to back, but I'm already on top of these bot side camps. Let's clear them out before we go. Then we can be all on top of this game as soon as we can. Once again, once we get towards this late part of the game, I've decided that it's not really worth too much worrying about sequencing. If it's completely free and you're walking up and you're just starting to get back on the map, you should plan to sequence. But if you're already about to leave the map anyway and you're clearing all your camps, there's no real point in trying to sequence too crazily. We see a lot of blood roses here, but I'm also watching the mini-map and watching where they're doing, making sure that they're safe from the Echo, and then we go ahead and clear these blood roses and get our butts on out of there. Otacon, the next objective spawning on the map, and it's going to be one that we want to play for. Eventually, I'll realize I have 3,700 gold. Eventually. Oh, there it is. In the moment, it's a lot easier to not realize you have a ton of gold and just be focused on where you're going next and what your next plan is. Make sure to check your gold as soon as you can, because that's a huge buy for me. Sork Shoes plus Leandries gives me a ton of damage, especially the burn from Leandries is super, super strong. Otacon spawns bot lane. We're looking to make sure we get some vision control of it. Probably should have bought at least a control ward before we left. I always forget about cashback. Cashback is really strong a lot of the times, and you don't realize how much money you're going to get back. But look, we see Skarner topside pushing a turret. We know that Otacon is completely free as long as we play smart. So I'm going to hug this guy's face and just burst him down as fast as I can with Morgana and Corki. Now, the play that Skarner's making isn't necessarily a bad one, because they do have Rift Herald, but it's also one where, and I ult here just to get my blood roses a little quicker. Probably should have ulted sooner, just that way I already had it, because at that point it's probably a waste of time. But my thought process was that I could get back on the map and already be in my ult form, and they won't be prepared for me to throw a giant Q at their face. Instead, it ends up we're just a little too slow to get any empowered Qs off. We smite the Rift Herald just to make sure that we get that 25 gold from it, and they back off the turret. Worthwhile trade at the very least. Getting that Otacon buff is super, super strong. Even if you weren't to get all those blood roses, which we did, and that's a ton of XP. I flashed into 2 people there, which is pretty funny. But I bait their whole team. See, guys, I'm just a genius. Definitely perfectly played by me and not the entirety of my team following up really well on their engage. Works out for the better, though, as we're able to get 3 kills right as the dragon's spawning. Now, that's not a play I made, right? I played defensively. My team made a good play there. But enemies will find ways to end kills right before dragon spawns. And if you play smart, you'll find those opportunities just like this. And you can burst down dragons, get your... I believe this is my second one because we lost the one earlier. Oh, nope, it's our third. You can check by my passive. Garen gets caught out. We use our ult to get on top of him. It's a free little kill for us. We'll take whatever we can get. And we're right on top of this guy's camps. Why not, right? Our bot side's already cleared. We want to stay with our team to be prepared to follow up on plays like this Echo. Look, we're just chucking E's from afar. Shout out to Spear of Shojin for making sure that we get one more E off right before our ult runs out, which gets us a kill on the Caitlyn, who's not prepared for our damage. We can also get a kill on the Skarner, and we almost kill this Echo too. But look, Skarner's down for 30 seconds. Another time where it's really good to just kill his camps. I don't need to go to my topside camps when Skarners are all up. And also, I'm in this bush, and the Seraphine wasn't quite paying enough attention. Too focused on herself. We'll miss an E, and she'll get away. But, you know, if we didn't miss the E, probably would have been pretty scary for her. And our Victor flashes to secure us the kill anyway. What a nice guy, right? Skarner's still dead. Still no reason for me to go back into my jungle. But his jungle, however, is definitely still a good thing for me to go get. We're keeping up with our teammates' tempo, right? We are not necessarily the carries here. We did just get a lot of kills on the map. But we're staying with our teammates in the area, right? We could go farm our topside camps, or even our bot side camps are respawning. But we want to stay close enough to our teammates that if a play happens that we do need to react to, we can skip Skarner's camps and react to it. Luckily, no play like that happens, and so instead, we just get all of Skarner's camps, and then we get to clear our own. Well, theoretically, Jace already cleared our blue buff for us. Clearing from wolves to Gromp here. Just a little another thing to keep me closer to my team. I guess I'm just clearing the wolves. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, we've got 2,500 gold. We've got Riftmaker. We've got Baron spawning here soon. We're just setting up for that next fight. 3 items. Even though we don't have empowered boots, we're still super strong. Using that W to get to this fight as soon as humanly possible. If we needed to, we could also use our ult to close some distance, but our W will do plenty of work here. 2 of our members die. I accidentally clicked Corky's body because it just looks weird from that angle. And look, this Garen's down 2 levels. If you remember just a little bit ago, he was up a level on us. Now we're up 2 levels because we are getting these objectives before him and power farming out of our minds. We're almost at, like, I think 8 CS right now per minute, which is pretty good. My team has definitely been doing plenty of work for themselves, getting themselves back in the game. We all had a really rough early game, you know. Tensions were probably pretty high within the team at the very beginning, but now we've kind of pulled ourselves back together, and this momentum that we've built has kind of made it so that way we can do things like this and just kind of jump on the Seraphine and don't feel bad about it. This is a funny little moment here for the Echo. We know he's super low health. We know he's burning away. So he uses his ult and gets instantly jumped. I I don't know if I would use that ult there if I was the Echo, knowing exactly where I'm going to be going. But, you know, he's trying to heal back some health, and, well, he did his best. Once again, we are back on Skarner's camps, making sure that he cannot make up that farm lead. We're 100 CS up on Skarner right now, and look at this. We're 3 levels up on him. We're already half HP by the time this fight starts. Because we're stealing his camps as well as getting our own, he can pull me wherever he wants. I will just jump on him. I'm not afraid. And this is pretty funny. I'm like, you know what? Screw you, Skarner. I want all the smoke. So I jump over the wall to get to Skarner. I smite him. Get really low HP there, but we got the Skarner. Shout out Jace for the help. And then I'm like, all right, let's back. And then I realize Echo's there. Garen's there. We'll fucking E at him just to do half his HP bar. But we're out of there. Unfortunately, can't say the same for a couple of my teammates. I'd take one step out of the bush just to really assert my dominance. Fourth item is always going to be that Rabadon's death cap. Now that you've got some AP, you've got some AD, got plenty of HP, you just want a bunch of AP in your kit, you know. You can also go Shadow Flames, really nice to have, so you can crit on those empowered E's on low health enemies. But I like Death Cap more before Shadow Flame, just because I feel like it's more consistent damage than sometimes critting on low health enemies with Shadow Flame. Just my opinion though, it's not a bad thing to build Shadow Flame before Death Cap. All of a sudden, the Victor that was getting pooped on in the early game is legendary. He's getting a little too confident after hearing himself be called that though, because, well, he gets shut down basically immediately. I jump towards my team, and they feel pretty dumb for what they've done. I think I'm going to hit the Skarner with the E. Unfortunately, he is just moving too quick. Instead, we'll take that whole wave right under from Jace's nose. He has no clue that that just happened. But, my bad, bro. Look. The enemy finds ways to int right before the dragon spawns all the time. And you just got to make sure that you can capitalize on that int. Because boom. That is Mountain Soul acquired for the Shyvana. A lot of tankiness added to our whole team after getting that Mountain Soul. Not too shabby. Look, we're still staying on our team's tempo line. We know where our team wants to be. We want to be in the area, even without our ult, because at this point, we're pretty strong. I think we can even mess around with this Caitlyn a little bit before we get our ult. And look, we can't quite fight, per se, but we can still be in there. We can still be a body in the fight, even if we're not necessarily the strongest member of our team. We can still poke with our E as well, as they continue to fight us. Now my ult is getting pretty close, and I'm thinking, maybe we should try to bait them into a fight. Jace does so just a little early before I'm actually quite at my ult, so probably not the smartest move on his part. Now my ult's up, though, and, well, why not Joe full ham on this Caitlyn? Somehow, my dragon form flies over her trap, and I still get rooted after my unstoppable ends. But, you know, the play was made. We basically got the Skarner down to 1 HP, so that way Corki can kill him in his base. I don't know what Corki's been up to. I have never seen a Corki split push go so well, especially when we only have one grub. But we'll take it. Corki's cooking, and we'll let him cook as long as he wants to. At this point, though, the game is looking fantastic. The morale of my team is at an all-time high. We are not worried about this game being pretty much sealed at this point. We just have to play smart and make sure that it goes that way. I take the blue buff in their faces, go over the wall to look at the Baron. I'm down to do the Baron, especially with Skarner dead. I just want to make sure that we can clear all the wards on it first, so that way we don't have to worry too much. But look, maybe I don't. What the heck am I doing? This is one of those things where if I didn't watch the replay, I wouldn't know that my dumbass just let Skarner fully revive himself before we even started the Baron. We eventually start the Baron after getting the blue buff for no reason. And we will just do our thing. I'm trying to press 7 here to put my control ward down, but I think I'm pressing like 6 this whole time. I'm like, what the hell is happening? Please place down this control. There it goes, finally. I always put my wards and stuff on 2. I just forgot to do that one when I backed. So it was just in the wrong spot. I had to really think about where it was going. Garen absolutely murks my Morgana. I flash away from the Skarner, not wanting to get hit. And now, Skarner's walked too far. We're still 4 levels up now at this point, 100 CS. Dodges ult. Embarrass him. Spank his ass in front of his whole team. He's not feeling too hot about it. Here, I'm really hoping that Caitlyn is backing in this bush. If I had to guess, I either didn't throw that far enough or she's backing in a different bush. I was really hoping, you know? There she is. We don't have our ult, but we can still look to take Skarner's camps. It's a really easy way to expand your farm lead, because if you're already ahead, he has no chance of walking into your camps and taking them, but you can take his camps for free. Echo shows up 1 HP, so we kind of just like say hello, say what's up, bro, while Victor's in their base doing weird shit. I don't know what my team was doing. We're playing for consistency, playing to continue to expand our lead. We have 3,700 gold, but at this point, we've got 2 people in their base. So we're gonna hop over this wall with our ult, start launching some nuclear missiles across the way. Echo's 1 HP. 1Q will do the damage. Clear the waves with that. Hit Garen as well. There's just nothing they can do. We start hitting the Nexus, all of a sudden that turret finally respawns. Delays us by about 10 seconds, but the game's already over. It's GG's, a well-played Shyvana game. Some rough starts in the early game, but some good clutch up plays and a, what is that, 150 farm lead by the end of it. Yes, this is a ranked game. Gold 2, I believe, ELO. So you can do this too. Trust me, it is so easy to do. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.